Hey YouTube, this is Southern Prepper 1. I want to talk about an incident that happened yesterday. It was in the morning and a call came through. I had the radio on and I heard it. I heard the tones drop for Holly Springs Fire Department. And it came across first as a 1070 car fire. So no big deal. It actually bordered the boundary line. So actually on the left hand side is Pumpkintown Fire Department and the right hand side is Holly Springs Fire Department. And I want to preface everything I'm telling you is anything I say, do not take it negative against the Holly Springs Fire Department, Pumpkintown Fire Department. They're both great fire departments. I've been with both of them. As you know, I'm no longer with either one. So if I say something and you take it negative, it's not negative. It is just the facts of life when you live in a rural section of the country and you have to rely on volunteer firefighters. Volunteer firefighters are some of the most dedicated beings out there. I mean, you can't ask for better people. Time after time after time. People think, oh, volunteer firefighters are not as good as full-time firefighters. Totally disagree with that. So a lot of our volunteer fire department guys are actually full-time in the bigger cities around here. So they still serve for free and they're very well trained. You have to be as well trained if you work for a volunteer, if you're going to go interior on a structure fire, as if you were in a paid. You got to have the same standards because the safety is a fact. So the only problem with the volunteer is a lot of the guys work. So the call went in and the first firefighter gets to the scene and it's not a vehicle fire. Now I didn't go to the scene, so maybe it started as a vehicle fire and it was in a garage, it was outside in a carport. I don't know, I wasn't there to see the fire. But as soon as he gets on scene, he says, no, it's a structure fire. So the chief immediately asked dispatch to tone out Pumpkintown Fire Department. The dispatch toned it out and I could hear it on the radio and no one answered up. So I said, that's a little weird. And I thought, in a few seconds, somebody's going to be rolling a tanker or a fire engine. Nothing happened. So, a few minutes later, the chief at the scene calls back again and asks dispatch, hey, could you call Pumpkintown again? Drop their tones. We need a tanker and we need help. Second time, tones dropped, nothing happened. So I called a man that this man is so dedicated to Pumpkintown. It's amazing. He is semi-retired, works from home, very close to the fire station. This man should be given a gold medal. His dedication is unbelievable. But guess what? He was sick. He was at the doctor's office. Couldn't answer the call. I called him on my cell phone and he said, man, I'm sick. I'm at the doctor's office. I can't help you. So I think maybe the third time the chief said, hey, I need help. Call Pumpkintown again, and they dropped the tones again. No response. My radio is a radio just to listen. I'm no longer with them. If I had a radio and I could talk to the dispatch, I would immediately say, hey, everybody's out of district. Finally, a rescue personnel that has ties with Pumpkintown got on there and said, I will go get the tanker. Now this is all taking a lot of time. At this time, the chief on the scene says, hey, send me another department. So they called another department on the other side of the fire to come, and they did send help. I want to preface, I'm not being negative on any of these volunteers. They have to work. And we know that when you move into the country. That's why I'm stressing to you, when you move into a rural area and you only have a volunteer fire department, you have to make sure you do everything on your home, your retreat, your homestead to make sure that you can fight a fire or you can prevent a fire. It's that important. Finally, they dropped the tones for the fourth time for Pumpkintown. No one responded. So what I'm getting at is, in an emergency, in a crisis, in a worst case WROL, I can guarantee you there probably will be no one coming to help you. They will have their own problems. So you have to take care of yourself. Self-reliance, self-reliance, self-reliance. I made sure that the rest of the day I had my radio next to me because I was going to go. If there was another call in Pumpkin Town, I was going to go to the scene and call dispatch with my cell phone, probably just dial 911 and talk to them and tell them what's going on, get eyes on the scene. If there was a structure fire in Pumpkin Town, that way they could immediately call other departments. Because we had zero protection for about, I don't know, 10 hours. Later in the day yesterday, there was a call. It was a brush fire. It was actually just a controlled burn. And many guys responded, probably 6, 7 guys, because they were all off work. They were at their house, and they came. So knowing that, when you look for property, take that into an account. Where is the fire station? Is it a volunteer fire station? This is going to play huge on your insurance. So normally you might say, okay, I pay a certain amount because I live in the city for my insurance. This number could double instantaneously you move into the country. Double. They like to look at it, I think it's 1,000 meters to a fire hydrant. And in the country, there's not a lot of fire hydrants. So you'll probably fail that test on the insurance company. Next, they like to make sure you're within 5 miles. That's 5.0. I know of someone that's 5.1, and guess what? Their insurance is double because of that 1/10 of a mile. So take that into consideration. So yesterday, during normal times, fire protection was non-existent for Pumpkin Town. Nothing negative against Pumpkin Town, please. I devoted 4 years of my life to these guys, and these guys I've seen them risk their lives daily. When you have a call, they risk their lives. It could be a simple vehicle fire, trying to pop a hood, to entering a burning building, a rescue, swift water. These guys risk their lives every time they take a call. Just going to the scene, you risk your life. I risked my life when we had the fire truck accident. I was a passenger, and the tanker truck rolled. I don't know how many times. I was knocked unconscious, so I don't remember. All I remember is the first roll. So, looking for rural property, taking into account your insurance for your property. It could be really high. And taking into account you need to be self-reliant. If you live in the country right now, call your local volunteer fire department. Have their chief come to your house and say, hey, what can I do to make your job easier if you have to come to my house? And he'll walk through your house with you. He'll show you things that you can do. They'll walk on the outside and say, hey, let's mitigate some of this danger from all the woods. You have a beautiful place. You live in the middle of the woods. Let's mitigate it by doing some simple things. And I've done lots of videos on mitigating your rural retreat. I thank God every day we still have a ton of volunteers that are willing to risk their lives and waste, I wouldn't say waste, spend. Some of them devote easily a couple hundred hours a year, and probably more. You know, guys take classes all the time, and you might take a class, it might be a 50, 60, 70 hour class. That's a lot of time to take away from your family to protect your fellow man and your fellow citizen in your community. Just wanted you to know that. You be prepared for a fire. Be self-reliant. Thanks for watching.